So we're here today with Bilal, the owner of Ethel the Snake. How are we?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. Now, if you don't mind me asking, how did Ethel get out?
Ethel lives in quite a large tank. Usually on a Sunday I do just stretch her out, take her out to the nice garden or some greenlands and, just let her stretch out a little bit.
Now, what does she eat?
She eats giant rabbits every 2 weeks. Yeah. So she's got quite a big diet. She usually, to be honest with you, she's got that big that I put on a bit of a diet recently, so I'm feeding her more like every 3 weeks rather than every 2 weeks. But she's still got a lot of growing to do.
Now, how big do pythons get?
Python, well, the world record is 24 foot. She's currently 15 foot. I'm expecting her to get to about 20 foot within the next 4 to 5 years eventually. But they do grow all their life, so
Yeah.
I mean the life expectancy is 25 years, so she will grow throughout all that life expectancy. So she will get a lot bigger.
How does it feel to touch her?
I mean, a lot of people think it's slimy and wet, but if you actually touch it, it's really dry and smooth, kind of like a leather handbag. So, I mean, you might be a bit surprised when you actually touch her. She's not actually slimy or anything like that. She's really smooth.
Now, how long have you had Ethel?
I've had Ethel for 6 years. I bought her when she was 1 year old, less than 10 foot, but as you can see, she's done a lot more growing since.
Now, this is for the rugby. What do you think the score's going to be today?
Particularly, I don't know what the score will be, but I'm pretty sure we'll win today. Hopefully Ethel can bring a good luck charm today. Let's hope so.
Thank you. So we are here today with Ben Cockayne. How are we?
I'm doing all right, mate. Thank you very much. How are you?
Now, how do you think you played today?
I think it was definitely a game of two halves. We did really well in the first half to go out into a big lead, but then Bradford just pumped us in the second half. So I thought it was a great game and a great advert for League One.
Now, what is League One like for you?
Well, it's tough based on games like that, mate. It's very tough, but I'm really enjoying it. We get to play at some great places like Bradford down here as well, so I'm really enjoying it, mate. Yeah.
Now, how do you say? What would you have to put as one word for Bradford's comeback?
Outstanding. Yeah, I thought outstanding would sum it up really well. I thought a draw might have been a fair result, but obviously Chiz missed that last kick, which helped us to get the 2 points.
Now, obviously, we are winning against you, so we're still at the top of the league for points difference. Are you going to aim for a big scoreline next week?
I think every game for us now is going to be like a grand final, really. We need to play as best every single week. We just need to try and score as many points as we can. We know Bradford will score a lot of points on the teams they play as well, so we're just going to have to try and do the same and hope that we get more than Bradford.
Do you have an easy route for the next few weeks?
I'm not sure if you can call any game easy, to be honest, because you never know what you're going to get. We went to London Scholars last week and we only just managed to win by 2 points, so I don't think there's any easy games, but I don't know if they'll be as intense as that game was against Bradford.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you, mate. All right, take care.
So we're here today with Sam Hallis. How are we?
Yeah, good, mate. A bit gutted, obviously, and a bit sore, but we're still top of the league, and we've got to take the positives from it.
How do you think York came back today?
Yeah, I thought they went really well. I don't think we helped ourselves. I think we were probably his almost enemy at times. But credit to York, they took the chances, didn't they? And we've probably been his worst enemy in some games this season. And teams aren't taking the chances, so you've got to take your hats off to York. The fact they did take the chances and put some points on the board early doors.
Would you say it was a 50-minute performance for us today?
I don't think we started the best, mate. If I'm honest. Like I say, start real slow, probably as almost enemy in the first sort of 20-25 minutes, maybe even first half. So, but like I say, second half, I thought we dominated the second half, and we were unlucky, obviously, not to snatch it to the death. But yeah, I think we could have been a lot better today.
Now you just mentioned we could have been a lot better today. Do you think we could improve it in training for next week?
Yeah, mate, of course we could. It's going to be a big week for us this week. like I say, we've got 8 games to go and win them 8 games, and you know, fingers crossed we're still an automatic promotion, aren't we? So yeah, we'll have to go in and recover well, look after ourselves over this next couple of days, and hopefully come Tuesday we'll rip into training and see what London Scholars have to offer.
Do you think we can do for the next couple of teams? Do you think we could get a couple of big score lines?
I think you know, it depends what team turns up, mate. Because every team, not all of us. I mean for the opposition, you know, that they're you know, playing us. It's obviously a big game for every team we come up against. So I think we know if we play our own game, we can post any scoreline against any team. You know, we've got to fully give that 80-minute performance.
What is the importance of grassroots rugby?
Grassroots rugby is huge, mate. You know, I only started playing when I was 12-year-old. I got into it through my amateur club Stanley, and you know, I think we've got to improve the grassroots. I don't think grassroots is anywhere near as good as it should be by any means. You know, you're looking at, I used to coach Stanley, and we used to get at the home age, and we used to get teams that couldn't raise a team, or you know, things like that. And you know, he's killing it because people love playing it, people love watching it, but we just need more people around it. We need to make it more accessible for everyone. Yeah, 100%. That's, you know, that's outstanding for us. You know, to have, especially to give these kids a chance to play on Odsal. You know, after such a big game, it's massive for the club, and it's a massive thing for young kids. I know when I was growing up, I'd love to play out on Odsal or Headingley or, you know, Bellevue, or, you know, any sort of place like that. You know, it were a dream to go play on there and look at these kids, you know, enjoying it, living the dream, playing with a smile on the face.
Cheers, Sam.
No,
We are here today with Elite Minchella, however.
A bit disappointed, obviously, with the result, but took some good out for them second half. Obviously, that first half wasn't up to scratch, and they made us pay. They're a good team, and they probably deserve the win.
Now we really did try today, but what do you think we could have improved on?
I think like I said, the start of the first half, first 20 minutes, I think we didn't start well at all, and that they made us pay because they're like I said, they're a good team, and that ultimately 20 points behind and. Back. We don't give in. You can't fault his effort, but just 2 points short today.
Would you say we played a 50-minute game?
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. Yeah, I won't argue with that. Like I said, it's a start, and they made us pay. There.
Now, was the pressure on for Dane when for that last kick?
Well, I don't know. You'd have to ask him, but I don't think so. He's a quality player and he's a good kicker. So you get it. Sometimes he misses, sometimes he gets them. So he won't be too down, I'm sure. Like I said, we're still top of the league. We haven't lost the league, and we've got 8 games to go now. Big finish.
I mean, obviously we've got points difference as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, like I said, we're still top, and so we're not panicking. Like I said, they deserve the win, and fair play to them, and best of luck for the rest of the year.
So we're here today with Robbie Hunter. Paul, how are we?
I'm very good, thank you very much. How are you?
I'm good.
I enjoyed the game. Not the biggest fan of the outcome of the game, but I thought, you know what, at halftime, we're staring down the barrel of chasing 20 points. I thought the boys hadn't had their opportunity yet. I'm sure that JK would have used some colourful words in the dressing room at halftime. And we saw the outcome of that when the boys come out in a different frame of mind. So it does make the rest of the season very exciting, though, doesn't it?
Now, a couple of weeks back, I went on to Pulse One, and I was on the morning show, and Danny Milo said to me, and he said, "Why have you unfollowed him on Twitter?"
Why have I unfollowed Danny?
Yeah.
I haven't. I have an organic security setting on my Twitter account. So if anyone puts too much nonsense on, it completely takes them out. So I haven't actually physically gone on, and it's basically Danny's thrown himself off my Twitter following by talking too much nonsense on it.
Could we have done better?
Yeah, there was a couple of opportunities where there were try-screen opportunities over the line, a knock-on. Up the top end in the first half, maybe just one pass not made. And in games like this, where it's top of the table clashes, and the margins are in the millimetres, you've got to take those opportunities when they come. And that's probably where we fell down. Caught a little bit by surprise in the opening sort of 20, 30 minutes of the game by how aggressive and how quick York were around the play of the ball. Could have tightened up a little bit around the rucks in the first half, because they did get a lot of momentum on the front foot. Equally, the early mistakes probably were very, very expensive as well. The Bulls put a couple of very sloppy, lazy errors, made a couple of really sloppy, lazy errors, and probably that allowed York to get too much of the ball in the opening 20 minutes. And in the conditions, 3 o'clock is the hottest part of the day. And in those sort of conditions, you want to have the ball in hand and not doing too much tackling. And I think they got the better of the boys in the opening 30 minutes of the game.
Now, obviously, you used to play rugby. What was your toughest match?
Toughest match? Ooh, if we put aside the internationals, because all internationals were pretty tough, I used to love playing games against the Leeds Rhinos, and they were the toughest match. They weren't always the toughest matches, but they were the most exciting. Whether it be home at Odsal or away at Headingley, those games were always the most exciting games to play in.
Or would you say a pretty recent one was it was the first Yorkshire versus Lancashire match?
Yeah, but look, I ran on the field. In the first half, I think I was on the field for 8 minutes, and in the second half, I think I was on the field for 12 minutes. So, if I was allowed to play professional games of rugby only 20 out of the 80 minutes, I reckon I could still be playing now. Maybe not now, but at least a few years longer than I did.
Now, how can we do? What can we do in training, do you think?
What can we do in training? I don't know. It was a pretty exciting game out there today. With the coaching calibre that you have with John Kerr, you know that they've got all bases covered. So I think they'll be doing all right. I don't think they need too much.
So we're here today with John Hamer. How are we?
I'm very well, thank you very much.
Now, how do you think Bradford are performing today?
Well, from what I've seen in the first 40 minutes, not very well. It's been all York at the moment. York will be strong in attack, strong in defence. So that first 40 minutes were really all York, and Bradford are lucky to score that one try on edge. But there's another 40 minutes to play, so see if they can come back.
Now, what was your toughest game?
My toughest game, I suppose, back in sort of Bradford North into Bulls here, were always sort of Leeds Rhinos. Always a tough local derby for us. We enjoyed playing against Wigan, which were a super team then. They were the sort of the professional players in the part-time professional code. So they, plus Halifax when they were a juggernaut force. So they were some great games then. I'd say Leeds, Wigan, Halifax back in the day, in the 80s and 90s.
Do you miss playing?
I don't miss playing. I enjoyed playing. I was here for 14 years and loved all my time here. And now I'm involved with Ex-Players Association, keeping old players connected. Still come and enjoy watching, but my body said to me that when I was ready to retire, it was time to retire.
Now, who was your toughest opponent?
My toughest opponent? Well, I played all my career as a prop forward, and most prop forwards are tough as teak, but back then, I suppose, Wardy from Castleford were a great player. Skerritt, Kelvin, when he played with us here at Bradford, then he went to Wigan. We always had a tough time with each other. And then obviously Brian McDermott, when he came out of Marines to join us at Bradford, although he played alongside us, he was probably the toughest lad that I've ever played alongside.
Now, back in the day, why did you want to play for Bradford?
Well, I live in Halifax. Halifax was and still is a big rugby town. And I had the opportunity to come and have a trial at Bradford. I came as a 16-year-old, got signed under Peter Fox, and never looked back really. So it was probably by chance that I came across to have a go. So I played rugby union at my grammar school, never really played a lot of rugby league. Started down at Siddle, had a chance and grasped it and made my first team debut at 18-year-old.